Hey everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. Been living in my car for 14 months and I am sick. I'm not too bad, I'm not horrible, not like, it's just unpleasant. I have a cold, I think. Thank goodness, just a cold, it's not the flu. um, Applying for jobs, trying to save money. You know, a bunch of things happened and I'm not worrying about it. I'm not complaining because this would have happened to anyone. Like the car crash, I was just there and it happened and then I couldn't get work for a month. But it wasn't just that caused me not to be able to, afford my bills, or at least, I mean, I'm still able to afford them. I got money coming, but you know what I mean? To have a little money extra. And then having depersonalization. I wasn't looking for jobs when I was in the midst of that, the worst of that. I still have it, but even if I did, I may not have found work. So, what would have anyone done in my situation? So I can't look at it as unfair. It just is. And, you do what you can with what you know. You do what you can with what you have, is what I meant to say. It's like, you play the best cards you can, but you got to play the cards you're dealt. So I can't really regret anything. I'm going to go to apply to more jobs today. And now also I've noticed my car, when I get up a little bit higher speeds, it pulls slightly to the right. That is fucked up. I don't know if that's a problem with the wheel itself or the alignment or just my imagination, but that could be wearing out the tires unevenly and wearing down the engine by causing it to draw extra power to keep the car moving forward if the wheels are like trying to turn away from each other. I don't know. So right now a few options are, there's a warehouse job I could go interview for. It's 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. Now that's hard work. I know, 4 hours a day, big deal. A lot of people work 8-10 hours a day. I used to work that much. I'll see. It's an option. Other thing, there's a janitor job, 4 hours a week. I actually do want to call for that. I just don't want to sound so shitty when I call. And $14.25 an hour, so that'll keep me alive. $60 a week. But I want to call for that. The thing is, really though, I want some kind of film gig, because it's what I actually like doing as I'm coming out of my disorder, and it's potential for more work down the line and all that stuff, better relationships, everything about it's better. The fact that I'm making money doing something I like and could lead to more work. And I forget if there's any other reason. It's just good to have, and it can pay more. That's the other thing, and pays quicker. I don't know if the warehouse job or that janitor job, they may pay once a week. I'm looking for money the next day because I need bills to pay by the end of this month. So a lot of stuff going on, this damn depersonalization disorder still going on, but I'm getting over it, I think, which is weird to say. Like, of all the hell it has caused me all my life and like existential despair about like my existence, it seems to be much, much easier this time to get through. Yeah, it sucks being sick, but that's okay. It could happen to anyone. I'm taking vitamins C and zinc. I always want to say vitamin zinc. And that helps so much whenever I have a cold. I swear by it. Anytime I felt a cold coming on, I take that every day. It just knocks it out right away. And so I think as a result, my cold's not really getting much worse. I started taking it yesterday. I took it today. And it's not doing that much to me. The cold, that is. Whereas if I don't take that stuff, it can be fucking hell. And it's interesting just being sick, how it kind of makes me compare it to being depersonalized. Like, yeah, the cold, it goes through me and it gets worse before it gets better. And it's just interesting to compare. And I question myself like, well, I know A cold doesn't last forever, so why am I worried about DPDR, depersonalization, derealization? Now, granted, they're different, but even in the cold, it's like, yeah, when I'm sick, I don't remember being well. And yet I don't panic over it the same. It can depress me right now, not really, because I don't feel much depressing because of this disorder. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for this disorder dissociating me, my dad's death would just, I don't even feel it most times. If I was in my right mind, it would absolutely collapse me and devastate me. It sucks. Almost like well, what the hell? People mourn deaths of parents. I'm like, all right, what can I do? You know? It's like the last time I even knew him was 10 years ago in my mind, because the last time I was even myself was 10 years ago in my mind. Like, I don't even remember being myself. Meaning, feeling my normal drives and instincts. I hate it. Even as I said that, I was getting intrusive thoughts. And the only good thing is now I have more education, more maturity. I know that those are just intrusive thoughts. They're not, the universe or anything taking my free will. Christianity's a load of garbage. If it was really true, how could it ever result in someone having these racing, intrusive, almost delusional thoughts about it? How could it? Because God wouldn't do that, right? How would you know the difference between a delusion and God doing something? You couldn't know the difference. So how could anyone who was raised in that religion ever have these problems? If it was true. Which of course it is. It makes no sense. Sometimes I just think, how was there an old religion that God supposedly made, Judaism, which itself is amalgamated from many religions and is obviously not even necessarily one God? It's obvious there are different God characters in the Old Testament who has different qualities. It's so obviously a creation of people, specifically of men. So how is it God made an old religion, or back then it wasn't an old religion, and then it was like, nope, okay, we're done with this religion because now people are ready for the current religion? Huh? It makes no sense. It's so obviously what a bunch of bullshitters were coming up with. A bunch of fucking fanatics who didn't know any better. Or maybe if they did know better, it doesn't matter if they didn't know better. They were still fanatics. They were still, coming up with very disturbing ideas and doctrines, and basically calling for enslaving people to their cult, which has nothing to do with reality, nothing to do with good and bad. It's just to perpetuate this cult. And it's weird being an adult, being able to see back on that. I'm like, fuck, I can never believe that. But yet as a child thinking, well, it's all I know. So just go on, Christians. Just take your fill. Hey, if you think you have the perfect God who is deserving of all praise, why are you even on YouTube? How could that be intolerable? The pain of being away from him for even a moment. You want to be praising him 24/7 all the time? Oh, no? Why? Because it's not practical? Oh, because you have other priorities than God. In other words, you act like you live in a world where there is no God. And one where we just make one up to suit our needs. Oh, how nice for me. God made the world for me. Life is so good. Oh, too bad kids with genetic conditions that cause you to suffer horribly and die by 3 years old. Too bad. God favored me. Fuck you. It's good that I'm getting my anger back, my sarcasm back. But yeah, I was even walking around here for 30 minutes at the park, just trying to exercise a little. I ate ice cream today for the first time in like 2 years. I somehow thought it would help with my cold, but also I just wanted to eat it. I got it from the food bank, of course. I ate too much of it, so then I went exercising, and I don't want to eat the rest of the day. I'm gonna go get tea after this. But yeah, I'm just choosing not to even worry. It was like almost like my car driving across the country. I got to a point where I was out of anger for the car, out of anger for my situation, I just had no more energy to be pissed off or frustrated or in despair over it. Just like, screw it. I was literally driving it through the desert and watching it overheat and be like, fuck it, I don't even care, which is really bad. Don't do that. But yeah, it's like, what could I do? So right now, I'm not worrying. I know there's not going to be any emergency right now, or probably not. Like, as far as money, I know I'll just be really low on money, but I got money coming, and we'll see. You know, with all these jobs I'm applying to, if I just get one or two, like film gigs, I'm good. Like, I'll make it, basically. I mean, I will make it to the end of the month, I think. I'll just barely have anything, so anyways, just gonna keep working and applying for stuff. And man, it freaks me out how I'm not even feeling the reality of my dad's loss, but it's goddamn disorder. You know, I gotta view it as something that's gonna help me in the long run, that it's an asset, that it'll go out of me, just like this cold. Even though right now, yeah, I don't think about what it'll be like to not have a cold. I'm like, this is all I know, having a cold. And I know it'll go out of me, and I'll sort of shake it out of me and get back to my old self.